I'm going to need you to keep it together. Try Before We Die, the whiskey review show where we don't know what we're drinking, but we'll tell you what we're thinking. Unscripted, unplanned, random number generator. I'm Colin. This is my pal Mal.
Yeah, let me press the button.
Will you press the button? Please. All right. 150. Way to hang in there. So we end at 148 right behind Mal. That means we're going to be on the backside. 2 bottles over. We'll see everybody over there for bottle 150. Hey, we made it to the backside. We only got to count 2 to hit bottle 150. 1, 2. All right. The Balvenie Speyside Single Malt Scotch Whisky. Here we have the Creation of a Classic coming in at 43% ABV. This is a no age statement. I believe this begins or is part of the Stories series, paying homage to David Stewart, who I believe is their master distiller, or has been for many, many years. And I think a woman named Rachel is apprenticing or taking over for him. Anyway, we'll dig into that a little more at the bar. We'll see everybody for the Balvenie Creation of a Classic, 43%.
Before we die with a bearded man and a British guy.
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
Got a bottle of whiskey for us to try.
I heard.
What'd you hear?
The Balvenie.
The Balvenie. Distilled at the Balvenie, the Creation of a Classic. Let's get it open.
Now, I can't say that I've ever even tried this one. And we've done several Balvenies,
Right.
whether in show or just in the shit.
Right. I think we've done the Caribbean cask certainly on set before.
The double wood.
Not on set, but in our bellies. Yeah. There are some others, but let's get this into a glass. I think, if I remember correctly, this has arrived here via my son Jacob flying home from Portugal.
Mm.
Oh, that was a good gurgle. All right, let's get those capped. See if anything's going on the back of this bottle. Really small words. Syrupy expression of vanilla and ginger. All right, coming in at 40. So this is story number 4. So I believe this really is a series really paying tribute to David Stewart and his very lengthy career as a master distiller at Balvenie. We'll dig into that in TBWD facts, but there he is, the malt master. And this is number 4. We have several of the story editions here. We have some that we don't have because they're incredibly pricey as well, and just out of range for the bar right now. So if you have an extra and you'd like to strip it on over, we will take it. Mal, any thoughts about the Balvenie or anything on your mind right now as we explore this whiskey?
I know our sound man loves them. I think he puts them in business because he buys so many bottles. For me, the Balvenie is one of those drinks that I look forward to drinking.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain like brands that we get, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. But the Balvenie, and I think it's because of our sound man, is one of those ones that, and we did the comparison in one of our shows. It's just a really nice drink.
One of my favorite Balvenies, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit, is their 21-year-old, right? Which has really gone up in price. I can recall picking it up for the low 100s, right? 120. And now I think it's starting to crest 300 a bottle. But it's a wonderful, wonderful drink. I don't know really anything about this particular expression. I agree. The 17-year-old discontinued. The Doublewood is a great pour. Our sound guy loves their Caribbean cask for sure. I think that's a 14-year-old, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to think of other expressions that we've had. I just want to peek, but it's just so hard to see back there. If there are other open Balvenis here, but regardless, certainly there is another open one right now.
I guess I think of this as like our Glenrothes collections. We have a lot of the Glenrothes, so
Yep.
we get to taste different ones. And
Yep.
the Balvenies is similar to that. We get to taste a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not that we won't get to, and hopefully at some stage we get to these different expressions of these different distillers. But the Balvenie is one of those ones where it brings a smile to my face. The name I like, the
Yep.
Balvenie, and I just always know everything that we've tried, I've enjoyed.
Quality. Yeah. Geez, I'm just noticing now that there's
I was
this.
going to say, I was wondering if the booklet had anything, and you're like, oh.
Hear the full story. The podcast. It's just some
Podcast.
advertising. It's almost like the world is sending us a message. All right, what do you got for a color?
Amber.
Amber.
To the orange side.
I feel like we're between light and medium. And maybe that's what you're saying too. I've been swirling a little.
They're there.
They're there.
It took me a while. I was like,
see
is
'em.
there anything even coating this glass?
Yeah, I see them now.
But they're hanging in there.
Yep. Okay. All right. I'm really excited. It said syrupy vanilla and ginger.
See, and I don't see.
Oh, I see yours. They're really up top.
Even yours, it doesn't look like they're actually like legs, but they're there.
They take a while to develop, I think, too. Oh, there they
Yeah.
are. Yeah. I'm picking them up just ever so slightly. Well, we're going to find out on a nose and then on a taste exactly where this syrupy vanilla ginger's coming from and if we're picking up something else. Are you ready?
Yep.
43%, the Balvenie, creation of a classic, story number 4 for David Stewart. I have to say sherry cask.
Yes.
I have to say that. 100% that's nosing sherry. I just want to take a look if there's any information about coloration. Or chill filtration.
And that ginger's there.
So this, right? Okay, yep, the ginger. So I'm not getting any coloration or chill filtration statements, but I am being reminded that David Stewart is often credited as the man behind cask finishing, right? Utilizing more than just the American bourbon cask, the American oak cask. He's often credited as the thought process to bring in wine casks, sherry casks, and began that process.
And I don't know if you have them over here, but back home in England, there's a cookie called ginger snap.
Yep.
And that's what this reminds me of.
We have ginger snaps.
Very much. Almost that biscuity as well.
All right, I can really see some legs developing on yours. And I've got them now for sure.
Yes. It took a while to develop.
Yeah, they're all over. Right, but very randomly placed.
But definitely the ginger.
All right, I'm hoping for this syrup. And I agree, that ginger is on the nose.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, I see the syrupy. I see it. I taste it.
Yes.
Absolutely medium mouthfeel. It's there. It's not bordering on light. It's very present. It's nice at 43 to have such a mouthfeel. The ginger is still happening 100%.
Yeah, you get that spicy end, which
Yep.
is that ginger.
And that ginger snap, it is an experience in the mouth too.
Very short, though. I
Yes.
found it was very short.
Still going to hang my hat on sherry. I find it sweet in the front, ginger in the back.
Yeah. I'm trying to grab this sherry note that you're... It's definitely there. But I would not say it's pronounced.
Very much on the nose, too.
And it has like a nice warming feel. I get like a nice warming feel. Not overpowering.
Right.
I don't feel I'm being pushed back by anything.
Not a body warm, though, because it's not a
Correct.
lingering finish.
It's right in here.
It's all here. And I appreciate that, the honesty of the label, in the sense of they're discussing syrupy and they're actually producing something moderately syrupy. I mean, that syrupness is present. Do you agree?
Yes.
Right? There's an element of viscosity in this drink, which I find impressive at a 43%.
That being said, yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is... When you say syrup, I guess the way I'm going to take this and twist it a little bit, it has the notes of a syrup, but I don't get the feel of a syrup. It's almost like you took syrup and you like watered it down a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It's not as thick as a maple syrup or something like that. It's not that heavy mouthfeel. It's moderate. It's in the middle, but it's not a thin drink.
No, but I would lean more towards the thin.
Would you?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't find that I'm getting that coating. I feel like it's there, it swishes around your mouth, and then it just goes.
I'll agree with Malcolm in this idea that it's not coating. For me, the syrupiness is while it's in the mouth, but it goes quickly. All right, so they asked us about vanilla. Are you finding any vanilla? Because I'm in sherry sweetness. I'm in that spicy ginger for sure. I've got a moderate mouthfeel, but I haven't picked up any vanilla yet.
If I was to throw the vanilla out, just as you take your drink into your throat, there is a moment that I would say I would liken to vanilla. Just as it goes back, you get the flavor of this ginger, you get this mouthfeel that you're talking about, and just as you swallow it back, there's a brief moment that the taste changes.
Ever so subtle.
Very subtle.
Maybe.
Maybe.
For sure on the ginger. For sure for me on the sherry sweetness in the front. And the nose. So I'm actually getting the sherry and the ginger on the nose and the palate.
So to twist this conversation, if they're saying ginger and vanilla, we usually take vanilla from bourbon casks.
Yes.
So wouldn't that be more that this is from a bourbon cask?
Or it could have spent time in a little of both.
All right.
Right?
Yep.
Right. I doubt that this has been sherry casked, meaning it spent its entire career in a sherry cask.
You think they moved it?
Yeah. Which is the thing, and you go back to the Balvenie Doublewood, right? Which is the thing that David Stewart built his reputation on. Moving the spirit from cask to create the profile that he was looking for. That's how he made his bones.
I'm going to now go completely against you, and I don't think this is a sherry cask. I think this is all bourbon.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Because now as I start to mellow with it, and I've had a few sips, I don't really get any sherry notes. I don't get anything that says this is sherry. It doesn't have that almost overpowering sweet. it has this underlying sweet. Now, granted, we're talking about ginger, so there are variables in here that could be changing this whole profile.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And these other small words here, I think it says something.
Oh yeah, we're gonna add words to it.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Colin is right. With an instinctive idea that something different would happen as he transferred whiskey from an American oak cask to finish in a sweet Oloroso sherry cask.
Ooh.
The Balvenie's malt master David Stewart created the world's original cask finish. Right? And so, let's see here.
So no bourbon whatsoever.
Number 4, the creation of a classic. Sweet and syrupy, right, and that's what I saw. Expression of the Balvenie with a touch of vanilla and ginger spice. Finished in sherry casks. But
That's interesting.
this doesn't mean that we're not both right. Finished in sherry casks, which means it began its journey most traditionally probably in an American bourbon cask.
Right.
So that's where we're getting the vanilla, or
Okay.
some of that's coming from. I'm absolutely getting, because it's finishing, I'm picking up that nose of sherry right off the bat. As soon as it uncapped, it was a classic sherry nosing. All right. Well, this is nice.
What I like about this one is that flavor profile is so distinct.
Mm-hmm.
That ginger is so distinct.
The ginger. It's nice when something unique really just dominates.
But I would say if you don't like ginger, you would struggle with this drink.
Mm-hmm. Ginger, I wish we had some dried ginger.
I know.
But we
I
eat it all.
I was like, oh, no, we don't
Yeah,
have
we
it.
don't. All right. Creation of a classic. No age statement. Story number 4 from the Balvenie. Tribute to David Stewart. Finished in sherry casks. Most likely American bourbon to start. 43%. It's nice.
I like it.
Let's see what the crew has for us. Lots of words.
That's a mouthful.
Yep, I'll do it.
Yeah, you will.
May you have the hindsight to know where you've been, the foresight to know where you're going, and the insight to know when you have gone too far.
Which is most of the time.
Was that the line? Did we go too far? Cheers.
Interesting.
I like that word interesting. I think we are talking a few different casks here, which is the hallmark of Stewart. I would guess we're probably youngest whiskey in this bottle is probably 7 years.
Okay.
And it's probably got some 12-year in there as well, bringing it together for this no age statement release. I think it's great.
No, I like this ginger. It's different.